Yeah, my father also, I wasn't there, but I know he stopped eating and drinking in the last week or so. And I don't know how much it was conscious because I wasn't there.
Brings up a couple of interesting thoughts for me. So I know, regularly dogs, cats, toward the end of their lives, other animals will. That just seems to be part of the mechanisms of their bodies. They'll just stop eating and drinking, and that's really when okay, we need to call the vet if they're not gone in a couple days or whatever your process is with your pets. But sort of this whole train of thought makes me consider sort of stretching, because I never really considered this concept as it applies to human beings and the conscious choice, and it really kind of pushes the boundaries of the definitions of what suicide really means, where acquiring a pill that will end your life painlessly and quickly, which is very much so illegal in I think pretty much every state, right? Or
47 states.
In 47 states, so it's only legal in 3.
Yeah.
Versus making a choice as a person with the support of your family to quit eating and drinking. What are the differences? I'm particularly interested by the fact that hospice was present, at least in your case, and that was a choice that they supported. And
I can speak to that. In that there are a number of things, including hospice and stopping eating and drinking and so on, that are completely legal under current California law, and widely practiced and successful, really, by and large for most people. But jumping to the example of my ex-wife, she had stopped eating and drinking, but it takes somewhere between 10 days and 15 days to perish by that means. And if you are in intractable pain, not reachable, say, by morphine or whatever during that time, it's just not something that anybody should ever have to suffer through, ever.
Yeah. And along the same lines as not eating or drinking is that what often happens, because people do not want to eat when they're dying, and the family members, or they're going to aspirate or something like that, is one of the questions that I often hear is that I will not let my, are they going to take out the feeding tube? That's often a thing that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And the family member will say, I will not allow my, my loved one to die of starvation or water. And the point is that we have to know is that they're not dying of starvation, that they're dying of the disease. But this is a big disconnect, in the dying process.
Mhm.
So how do we go with grace and take the feeding tube out and allow them to die peacefully, rather than keep that feeding tube in, and when if you just thought about it, that no, they're dying from the disease and not the lack of hydration or lack of food.
And the piece about suicide, you were asking, bringing up what's the line there, what's the fine line, and I think with suicide, it's usually done, on your own. The family is shocked that it's happened, so it leaves a lot of ugliness behind. But choosing to voluntarily stop eating and drinking and have the support of your family it's just, you can't compare that. The
Sure.
family's behind you, they're supporting, they're knowing why you need to leave, and it leaves better healing space for the family left behind.
And suicide is usually done, covertly. It's done secretly,
Right.
And to do it with support, it's the whole definition of the word suicide is different when you're doing it with consciousness and not a panicked, quick decision.
There is an official name for this, and you know what it is, what keyword people can search for.
Yeah, VSED, voluntarily stopping eating and drinking. And it's talked about online, but there's a lot of, we still need to have a death diagnosis, a terminal diagnosis for hospice to come on board to help you.
Right.
People need to understand that if hospice is going to come and help, that you need to have a terminal diagnosis.